What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It's your boy Trey of the Bat Channel. We have a quick update regarding Matt Reeves' The Batman film, which is coming out March 4th, 2022. Apparently, this last weekend they had CinemaCon, which, if you don't know what CinemaCon is, it's basically this really large gathering of movie theater owners, so like AMC, Regal, Cinemark, and even some of the smaller theater chains throughout the entire world. They kind of come together, kind of like your typical Comic Con, and they have like a little trade show showing like some of the updates and like equipment in terms of, you know, theater equipment, projections, seating, concessions, different things like that that they can show to the theater owners. And also some of the studios like Universal, Warner Brothers, and Disney show up to these CinemaCons and give a little preview on what to expect for the movie theater owners of films coming their way in theaters. As we know, the pandemic has kind of shut theaters down throughout, 2020. It's starting to come back open in 2021. We're starting to see some things moving, but some really cool releases that happen. We got a little teaser apparently of Matt Reeves, the Batman. Unfortunately, normally this type of footage doesn't get leaked out into the, web. Clearly, the Batman hasn't, at least yet.
Oh no! We suck again!
Maybe we'll see it for DC fandom, but here's what we know about what was shown just this last weekend. This is from a report on MovieWeb, and here's what they were able to kind of gather up from some of the descriptions. And they say the footage opens up with what looks like chaos before centering on Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne walking through Gotham. The description then states that he rises, but we don't know if that's via one of his patented grappling hooks or something more visually symbolic. I'm guessing probably something a little more symbolic. The footage then features director Matt Reeves, who promises an emotional Batman movie, the likes of which audiences have never seen before describing the Batman as being radically different from any other big screen adaptation of the beloved DC character. When we hear from the Dark Knight himself, Robert Pattinson, who talks about the ongoing connection between audiences and Batman, as well as the passion that both he and Reeves feel for the project, Reeves then returns and provides some insight into his approach. The filmmaker calls the Batman grounded the way Year One is, that famous Frank Miller comic, and confirming that the Batman will indeed take inspiration from Frank Miller's celebrated comic book arc, Batman Year One. A few people have kind of described it as long, dark, and epic. I've heard Robert Pattinson kind of talk about how this Batman is very much dealing with his rage, his anger. He's every fight he's in is very personal to him, is kind of the word I've been hearing. So it looks like kind of what we saw in that first Batman teaser from DC fandom, where he's just pounding in that criminal's face, which to me was like the highlight of that trailer. And when he does that, I'm vengeance, was like such a cool moment. I'm actually, the more and more I'm hearing about the Batman film, it sounds really cool. It sounds like it's going to be very dark, which it has to be, right? It's Batman. But it's going to be, in terms of, we already kind of got the more grounded take, which that's not so much what I'm interested in, because we got that with Christian Bale's and Nolan's Batman, right? A little more of that grounded, realistic Batman world, which I kind of wish we would continue into this, Batfleck thing where, we're seeing some of those more of the rogues gallery of those, super villains, like Killer Croc, those kind of things that we're getting into, rather than the typical like villains that are possible, like Penguin and Riddler and stuff like that. But I'm still digging this more detective noir style Batman that is going to be really, as I've kind of heard from a few, scoopers, is that this is going to be a very intelligent Batman. This is definitely the detective Batman who is figuring things out. He's the tactical guy, and he's building his own suit kind of thing. That's intriguing. I'm excited to see that. I heard they're going to keep it to PG-13, but it's really going to push the PG-13 to a very violent, borderline rated R kind of thing, which I kind of wish it was rated R, but I understand to get as much people into the audience, younger audiences especially.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck the kids?
Yeah.
They can't have it rated R. They need to make money on this, and this sounds like it has definitely the chance of being $1 billion film, and Warner Brothers needs that with this type of movie, because Suicide Squad did horribly in the box office. I mean, Free Guy whooped its ass, and Free Guy was a thing that no one knew anything about other than Ryan Reynolds, right? It's just Ryan Reynolds, and it's doing really well. So
I'm not gonna lie, I got the acting bug right up my bum. I'm gonna remake all of Ryan Reynolds' movies, but with only one slight adjustment, making them good.
let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a teaser that we're going to see possibly in the upcoming DC fandom? I believe that's taking place like October 15th, 16th, in a couple of months. So I don't know. It'll be great to see more footage of the Batman, because it was impressive that we got as much as we did at the first DC fandom. But I'm really getting the sense with kind of the corruption of Gotham City that they are going to take some of those. I think that like that telltale Batman thing where his parents are involved in the corruption. Bruce Wayne's parents are involved in the corruption. That's why Riddler is taking an interest to Batman's involvement in trying to fight back crime, when his parents were probably the cause of some of it, or at least didn't do anything to stop it, and very aware of it. So the Batman's looking good. I think it's going to be a great film. I think Matt Reeves is a brilliant director. I especially love that he's pulling from Batman Year One, which, like I said, yeah, we already kind of got that story with what they did with Batman Begins. Not so much, obviously the story. I mean, just in terms of like it's the beginning of Batman trying to figure it out and stuff like that. But I'm loving this more detective style thing that they got going on. So I think that's really, really cool. Definitely let us know in the comment section what you guys think of this news at CinemaCon. What kind of scenes, if you're hearing anything more of what was seen for the film, or is there potentially a new suit that we're going to get? Definitely seems like we're getting into the psychological torture of Batman and the rage, which that's why I loved Batfleck, is you could really sense and feel the rage of Batman when he's beating the shit out of criminals, which looks like we're going to get a little bit of that with Robert Pattinson as well. So very exciting news. Can't wait to see more at DC Fandom. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and that notification bell so you never miss an episode. I'm your host, Trey, and don't forget to tune in weekly. Same bat time, same bat channel.